In this video, I'll be building a clone of this application that you can see here on the screen. We're going to build a full web application that works, that's not just a prototype. It's going to have a working front end. It's going to have a working back end. So when you actually do something in this application, it updates in the back end. And we're going to be building all of that just with AI. In fact, I don't know how to code. And so I will not be writing any code for this. I'll just be using AI, vibe coding, so to say, and just use AI to write all of the code for me. Okay, let's go. Okay, then let's start building this app. So what I want to build is something similar to Scribe. Now, if you don't know Scribe, it's a document or tutorial platform. You can create these documents that are basically step-by-step tutorials. You can write text, add images, create these tutorials, and then share them with other people so that they can go through a certain process step by step. This is what we're going to recreate. And let's start with the first step. The first thing I always want to do is I will start with CopyCoder, the app I've built to scaffold out this project to get the initial implementation down so that we can keep iterating on that. I'll take a screenshot of the main page of this application, go into CopyCoder, drag this in and click generate prompt. Okay, so we got this initial prompt here, which includes all kinds of details like the analysis elements, what kind of elements should be there, layout components, the structure of the project and things like that. We can also hit generate page structure analysis, and this will generate a prompt so that we can create the other pages in this application. The first prompt is to create this home page, and the next prompt is to create these other pages. Okay, and then what we're going to hit here is download prompt file. It asks if we want an app with authentication or without. We want to do it with, and it gives us this client command, and this one we can copy. And now we can go and head into this empty cursor project, open the terminal and paste this command here. So after it's run through, you can see that it downloaded these files and it has a setup file. It has an initial prompt file, it has a page routes file and an auth file. So what we have to start out with is just running the setup file. In the AI chat window here, you should have in this new version of Cursor, this dropdown where you can select agent mode, ask or edit mode. And just use agent mode for this one. Also, I have Claude 3.5 Sonnet selected, the one which says agent here. That seems to still be working the best. So let's run that. What it does here is it sets up using the instructions in this setup file. It will set up a Next.js project and yeah, does all the heavy lifting here. So we don't have to do much. We just need to accept the terminal commands here. The setup file will mainly set up the Next.js project and it will attempt to run through the other files as well. But usually there's a cutoff at some point and it won't continue all the way through. So we might have to kind of help it out a bit. Okay, it just completed the first part of it. So it set up the Next.js and it went through this first prompt, setting up the main page. So we can accept all of these changes. So let's have a look how this actually looks. We're going to do npm run dev. Okay, cool. It ran through and there we go. We have an application. This looks pretty good already. I mean, we have a sidebar which we can use to navigate. It doesn't look exactly like the original application, but that's fine. We can build on top of it. And so what we're going to do next is first run through the setup prompt and the initial prompt. And now we're going to run through the page routes prompt. What this does is build out the other pages for us. Let's have a look at this prompt. It included all of these pages. So we can probably build out until community, and I think we're going to just remove these pages for now. Okay, so it created up until the community page here. When it wanted to create the all documents page, I stopped the generation. I think this is all we need for now. And let's just have a look if it created everything. So here's the community page, created by me page, home, inside, saved. Okay, that looks good. Let's have a look at our application and have a look how these pages actually look like. Okay, so let's correct some of these things. The first thing we're going to correct is that there seems to be a bit of a gap here. The pages have a bit of a gap between the sidebar and the main content. Okay, I've corrected the layout issues. It doesn't always get it perfectly on the first try, but sometimes it does. Sometimes if it doesn't, then you just need to tell the AI to fix these things. It does look much better now. All of the layout issues are fixed. You can see from the pages, they look good. And so next, we're just going to iterate on that. I just want these main 5 pages to look and feel right. And then I can add an authentication to it, hook it up to Supabase backend, and then we can actually hook up the Supabase database. Okay, so let's do this. Get rid of all of the things in the workspace tab in the sidebar. Now in the header, get rid of the progress bar on the top right. So we removed this part from the sidebar, and then in the header, I don't know why it put that progress bar there, so we're just going to get rid of it. We'll start a new chat, and now we can implement the auth. So if you remember, we had these CopyCoder prompts here, and one of them was to implement the auth with Supabase. Just going to check this, and here you can see the kind of pages that it wants to add. We can edit that slightly. Basically, we can just remove the pages that we have just removed. So we have the saved insights, and it seems like it forgot the community. So we're going to add that profile. Okay, so now we can run the auth. It will install Supabase SSR. Okay, and now it's creating the authentication pages. It's creating the sign-in page and the sign-up page. Let's have a look where they're being created. So it created this additional folder here called pages. And then here inside of the auth folder, it's creating the sign-in and sign-up pages. Okay, it's done. And it created all of these pages. And you'll notice that there's an error on the screen, but that's because we have to add, as it says here inside of the env local file, we will have to add the API keys. Okay, so we will go into Supabase and we'll create a new project. And once the project is created, just locate the API keys and copy them over. Okay, and so once you've entered your API keys, you can go back to the main application and you'll see that it's empty now. But that's probably because we're on the application page, but we're kind of logged out. The sign-in page is not working, and I know that I am logged out because when I try to open up another page, I can see a redirect in the URL. This is the URL I'm seeing. Okay, so Cursor fixed the issue for us. There was something with the routing. I'm not sure quite what it was, but it fixed it. And now let's try to create a new account. Okay, let's see if it actually created the account here. There we go. The user is here. So it worked, and we can probably use this user also to sign in. Okay, awesome. So the sign in, sign up works. So I'm just testing here whether all of these pages are really protected. As you can see, if I type in the URL of one of the pages, then it's redirecting me, and that tells me that the pages are protected. Let's sign in again with our test account. Cool. So what we have now is an application that has login and sign up functionalities, which is hooked up to our Supabase project. We have all of these front-end pages, which obviously don't have that much functionality yet. Like the buttons, create a new document doesn't work yet, but sign in and sign out works. Now we get to the fun part, which is creating these functionalities. And we're going to start with the most important functionality, which is creating a new document and being able to edit a document. Okay, so let's build out that part. We're just going to start a new chat here. Okay, I want to now be able to create documents. When I click on create a new document, you should enable that functionality for me and let me have a document editor. And just for context, the kind of documents that I want to create in this application are tutorial step-by-step documents. Okay, I've implemented that, so let's have a look at it. So I think it's going to work from here. Yeah, does something. Doesn't look great yet, but it does do something. Keep building out the editor page. When I open the editor, it looks pretty empty. Actually, what I want is if you click on the new, it should first open a pop-up that allows me to enter some basic information about the document. And only after that, I can go into the editor itself. Okay, cool. Now we have this modal that will let us create a new document. Test. Just the text is too light. The text inside of the inputs is too light. You cannot see it. Okay, cool. So what we want to do next is after I create a document here, I want it to be saved in Supabase. Okay, so we're going to work on this now. After I've created a document through the model, I want the document to be created in a Supabase table. In this table, we should be able to store the documents, and also every document should have multiple pages. Now it's giving me this SQL command, which I can use to create the pages in Supabase. Okay, and let's start much simpler. So when I press create document on the modal, I just want to create a document table first, and we don't need any RLS policy for now. Okay, so we will head here into Supabase, go into the SQL editor, paste that in. run it. And this should have created a new table here with our STS disabled. And the table has ID, text, title, description, category, visibility. Okay, good. Then let's test this out. Doc1, document. Okay. Didn't work. Let's try again. I've just created a document, but it didn't save in my Supabase table. Okay, added some error logs. So let's see. I get this. There we go. So it actually implemented that it saves only after we click the save. Well, I wanted it to save after we click the create document. Okay, I see the issue. I actually wanted it to save right after I click the create document in the modal and not after I click the save inside of the editor. Okay, awesome. So it works. We create a document. Let's call it doc1 and just select something. Let's do public, create document. And you can see our document is called doc1. And if we refresh here in Supabase, this document is being created. We can also see probably the ID here is, yeah, this ID matching this one. So it's redirecting us to the page where we can edit this document. This is awesome. The Supabase integration is working. And now we can keep building on that. Now let's work on the editor page. We would need to have a separate table where we can store the pages of a document, and each page should have a text and an image component. Actually, let's just start with the text component only first. The editor now allows you to create new pages, edit text document using a rich text editor, autosaves, manual save option in the top bar. Okay, let's try it out. One issue, what is it? Loading pages, okay. Well, I think we first need to create the table. Didn't actually help us create the table. Can you help me create the tables in Supabase as well? We currently only have the documents table. Okay, there we go. Let's take the SQL editor and create this table. The pages table is created. Now make sure everything works in the application. Yes. So the content is saved. The document is saved. Let's add another page. Page 2. Yeah, page 2 is saved as well. And they're all linked to the document. Nice. And it increments this order so it knows in which order the page is. Page 3 and save. Cool. Now there's page 3. And now let's see what happens if we go back. Oh, we have no way to actually open this document, but we could just use the URL. Let's see what happens. So we just need to replace this one. Where is it? The document. This one. Yes, it's saved. We can see our document here. Cool. So we can now create documents. They're being saved in the database. And now we just need to adjust these so that the documents are actually loaded and that we can actually see them. So let's try this. On the home page, I now want the documents that are existing to be loaded and showing up in my recent documents section. And when I click on them, it should open up the editor with that document inside of it. Nice. We can see our documents here. And this was the one that I edited. Nice. It has the 3 pages. In the document editor, the text in the input still looks too light. Change the colors. Okay, that's better. No, it's page 2, 3, save. Okay, it works. So we have our document editor here. It's actually saving all of the recent documents that we created. and I can now click into it. It's loading. Now, we've only implemented text input for now. We can next implement image input so that we can upload images. But the main functionalities of this app are here, and everything is being saved in our database. And we did all of this just by prompting and using the AI to write out all of the code for us. So this is pretty awesome. There's obviously some more things that we can build in this app. We built out the main functionality now, and we can then continue to build the other pages to have this updated and loaded with the right documents and so on. The skeleton of the app is there. And once we keep iterating on that and keep building, we can probably finish this in a day or so and then deploy it. And the way I would deploy it is just with Vercel. And yeah, deploy it, get a live URL, and then other people can start using this. Okay, and if you like this, I actually have a community called the Prompt Warrior community, where we have a bunch of courses inside of here that will help you build software with AI to find ideas and actually monetize and get to 3K per month. So if you want to join the community, come check it out. I'll put the link below. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.